Right now, we are on the way to drop off my tablet or Qualcomm. See you guys when we get there. There we go, man. Been trying to find somewhere to stick the camera for I don't know how long. Yeah, whatever. So, we're gonna get right into it. Why I left Werner. I dropped a short video and I think a lot of people thought it was clickbait because I did not follow up with the actual video. And it wasn't clickbait. I'm not with Werner. I just been away from trucking, so I didn't have like the desire, or it wasn't even honestly on my mind to make the video. I took that time off and utilized it, you know, spent more time with my kids, you know, outside activities, you know, just enjoying getting my mind off of trucking, and it felt really good, to be honest. So yeah, I was just utilizing my time. I'm sorry, I didn't think to make the video, but now I'm with a new company. I'm gonna talk about that later on in the video. We gonna get into that. And yeah, let's get into why I left Werner. So I was working for Werner, like many of you know, you seen my last video. I was doing the Dollar General account, and it just wasn't working with how I needed to flow outside of trucking. Like, it wasn't allowing me to do what I need to do. They were sending me to random places and whatnot. So it got to the point where I told them, I can't do it anymore. I'm gonna have to move around. So before I end up quitting, they had called and offered me a position with a home daily account, right? And it was in California, not going outside. As a matter of fact, it was San Bernardino to Compton. So every day I knew what I was going to do, you know, and that worked out perfect for me. So I started working the account, and the more comfortable I got, you know, I felt more comfortable setting up stuff outside of my work life that is now being able to be set up, because I know what I'm doing. When you're just going anywhere over the road, you're not able to put nothing into place, you know, because there's no certainty in that. So now that you know that you're gonna be able to be home daily, you know, you're in California, you know, it was a guarantee account. You know, you're gonna be making X amount of money. Like, you might be able to buy a house now, you know, because now you know what you're doing, you know how much money you're making, excuse me, and you know what it takes just from having that simple blueprint. I'm home daily, I'm making X amount of money, it's a guarantee account, there's nothing that can go wrong, you know. So that's the way I started moving. I got comfortable with the account. I started doing things outside of the account. I started signing up to do this because I knew I had this amount of time and whatnot. And that all came to an end this past Christmas. I got a call saying that they were going to be releasing some drivers from the account because of lack of freight. And pretty much I was one of the drivers. They told me that they're going to be keeping the drivers that's been with them for a while. And that pretty much fucked up everything I had going. And yeah, it was a Christmas gift. They called, I believe it was the week of Christmas or the day before Christmas. Don't quote me, I have to go back and check. But yeah, that just knocked off everything that I had balanced, you know, knocked it off balance. So they gave me a week to, no, they didn't give me a week. They said I had 1 week left on the account. So they called me and said I had 1 week left. They got to get rid of drivers. So next week I won't be with them. And pretty much I had to figure out what I was doing. They said they'll try to find me an account, but this is the problem. If you go back and watch my other video, I didn't have nothing bad to say about Werner, you know, and I still stand on that. I have nothing bad, you know. Anything bad I had to say is one little thing. You know, little things don't become big things until it's too many little things. Then it can become an actual thing. You know, you don't take the little away from it. So I guess now, I mean, maybe it's subject to change, but I look at this as a thing. Warner's cool, but the account availability, I guess in California, I can't speak for everyone outside of California, there's no accounts, right? So even when I was working Dollar General and I was about to quit because they were trying to find me an account and all they had, let's take a wild guess, is OTR. They had some shit going to Canada. And I'm like, come on, man. You know, so when I got the call that I was being let go from this account, they said they're gonna find me something. I got a phone call the next day like, hey, you wanna go to Canada? No. Okay. You want a team drive? Extra no. You know, y'all, and y'all can reference my CR England video on why I refuse to be a team driver. There's no way around it. I mean, that money gotta be so good. We damn near look like owner operators for me to team drive. I'm not doing it. Right? So yeah, they didn't have anything there for me. So I kind of waited until like the last day, until my last day on that account, and I just called and said, hey, I'm just gonna be switching companies, man. Even though I didn't have a company that I was going to at the time, I was on Indeed and I was getting messages every single day from companies. So I felt comfortable like, hey, just go ahead and clock me out for good. You know, y'all ain't even gotta wait around on me. Yeah, so honestly, I didn't even finish my last week on that account. I was so irritated because like I said, everything that I had set into play was now messed up. Like, you know, like any commitments that I was able to commit to is now messed up. I can no longer commit to them because now there's uncertainty. You know what I mean? So I guess, I mean, it's just something I never considered it. And I never even heard anyone on YouTube talk about it. Before I got into trucking, I watched every video possible. And I feel like if you're a new person, you should be watching these videos too. If you're watching this, man, take my advice. Go, whatever company you're going to work for, search every video. Don't just watch one video. Oh, that was great. Let me go apply. Watch everybody's video, man. So I just never took into account that you could be dropped from an account. I mean, obviously, unless you're doing bad, you're late, you didn't crash the truck, you didn't hit something, you know? And I was none of that. You know, I'm a real driver. I work, you know. It's a lot of people out here that consider themselves truckers, but I'm really a hustler. You know, I find my way, not adapt. You know, I can move around. Whatever it is, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to get my foot in. We're going to start making some money. You know, that's why the name of my channel is Play the Game. Not really anything trucking. I don't consider myself a trucker. I just read all the instructions and I know how to do it. And here I am, you know. So yeah, with me, I guess I got too comfortable. I should have, I think I was on that account with four months, about four or 5 months, I believe. And I don't know, I guess everything going on in the economy, it was kind of slow, but I didn't really trip because I knew better days were to come, and also we were getting guaranteed pay. So I know worst case scenario, I'm still making the bare minimum. Obviously, that's not the goal when you on that, when you're working that account. You want to shoot past that and get as much as possible. But this is why I wasn't worried, you know. So when I got that call, man, just threw everything off balance and kind of fucked me up. So like I said, I haven't even been working. I took that time off and I got too comfortable. I've been off for like 2 months, you know. Then I started getting a little bit nervous, like shit. You start thinking about it. I only been driving about 10 months now. I don't think this is something that you can really sit down and just pick back up. You know, that's why if you apply at some trucking jobs, you'll see they want recent experience. They don't care that you got your license in 2018. They want to see when the last time you drove, sir. You know what I mean? So I'm like, damn, let me hurry up and get another job. So I was trying to search for something for a company like Werner, a big company that pays well and that can get me home daily again, you know. And a lot of those positions, I tried to go to JB Hunt. JB Hunt was the company I was going to go to before I went to Werner. But JB Hunt, man, if you miss that phone, they'll call you at 4 a.m. Hey, the account's open. Motherfucker, I'm asleep, you know. I mean, I missed the call. I tried to call back at 6. Excuse me. Hey, man, the account's gone. You know, you got to be ready. And for some reason with JB Hunt, we just kept missing each other, man. So that was the closest thing over here in California that would have been able to get me home daily. You know, I'm out of Lake Elsinore, so I can do a company in Ontario, Fontana, Temecula, San Diego, you know. I'm kind of in the middle of it, Inland Empire, you know. So yeah, I tried to work for JB Hunt. It didn't work out. Then I find in this company called Marten, right? That's what I'm with now. I did my research. Everything sounded cool, you know. Obviously, everything sounded cool. So I put the call in after doing my research, got on the phone with the recruiter, figured everything out, and I was in Phoenix doing my orientation like 3 days later. I've been with Marten for about a week now. I got hired last Wednesday. Today is Tuesday, today's Valentine's Day. And I have yet to do a load. So I guess where we at? 10 minutes into the video. I guess we can talk about so far what I don't like, but you can take it how you want to take it because I haven't ran a load yet, you know. So off the rip, when I get to orientation, the hotel is cool. You know, I came from CR England. They had us in that bug-infested Roach Hotel in Fontana. So, and we were also sharing a room. So I got PTSD when I arrived in Phoenix. I opened the door and looked around to make sure nobody else was in there with me. I'm like, okay, cool. CR England have you feeling like this is a motherfucking jail stint. You know, so the hotel was cool. It was a Comfort Inn. Orientation. 8 hours a day, 3 days in a classroom, watching 100 videos that 90% of the time had nothing to do with nothing. I'ma just be honest with you, man. I feel like we wasted a lot of time in orientation. I don't know if it was a test, it was a mental test. I really started questioning, like, are they trying to break us? They just trying to see who's gonna leave first? Cause shit, it's probably about to be me. We sitting here watching these videos, doing these quizzes, man, whatever. We here, I'm in Phoenix, let's get it done, knock it out, whatever. I drove myself because they told me I wasn't getting a truck in Phoenix. I would be getting it out of Ontario. So I drove my own car, and the third day I drove myself back. The following morning, I went up to the terminal in Jurupa Valley, I believe it's called, that's where I'm at now. And I went to get my truck, and man, the first truck they showed me, it was a Kenworth. This motherfucker had about 369,000 miles on it, dude. So immediately, I know a lot of you truckers, especially you old ones, be in the comments talking about spoiled this, spoiled that, and I feel like I'll be the first to admit I might be kind of spoiled. You know, we got the Werner and the presentation. You know, it was a presentation. I don't know what else to say. My whole team, they flew us down there. Everybody got new trucks, man. Everybody got new trucks. With that being said, I'm not expecting to go to every company and receive a new truck. Like, cool, I get it. You can't buy 1 million people brand new trucks because it's like y'all hire 1 million people every year, right? But at the bare minimum, man, they showed me this Kenworth. It was dirty as fuck. Like, they didn't care to wash it, dude. Instantly turn off, man. I've considered myself a neat freak, man. A clean person, dude. So, instant turn off. Get inside. Look at the mileage, dude. Almost 400,000 miles, you know. Inside dirty. I'm like, dude, look, I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want it. And they're like, okay, call your dispatcher, let them know, see what they can do about it. Call my dispatcher. They put the call in, give them another truck. Took me to another truck. Like I said, the first one was a Kenworth. Took me to another truck, the Peterbilt. I'm like, okay, cool. Walk up on a Peterbilt, look cool. I think it was probably like a 2021. Look cool, dirty as fuck. I'm like, okay, this must be a thing around here. They don't wash the trucks. Okay. Get inside. It smelled like somebody been smoking in that thing for at least 30 years, bro. Cigarette holes in the seat. I have to live in the truck. Let's get that understood. I have to live in this truck. If I'm not comfortable where I'm living, nobody's comfortable. You know, nobody's going to be comfortable around me if I'm uncomfortable. Let me say that. So now my irritation level is just at an all-time high. I don't smoke. I vape, but obviously I think a lot of vapors prefer vaping due to the scent. You know, you're not getting a cigarette scent. You know, you getting a motherfucking air freshener scent, you know. So I do vape, but I don't smoke, and I don't like the smell of it. It's real powerful, and I'm definitely not sleeping in it. You know, so I tell them I don't want it. I don't want it. You know, so they like, yeah, we don't have that many trucks, you know. It's just, if you stay in the Kenworth in 3 months, we'll give you a new truck. You know, so they're saying if I went back to the first one that was just dirty as fuck with all the miles that looked like it should be in a graveyard, then 3 months down the line, I'll be switching out for a new truck. So I'm like, cool. So that's what I'm in right now, you know, a Kenworth with all the mileage on it. And yeah, I've had to take it to the shop because it was something wrong with the air gauges. It had flat tires and just a bunch of little things, you know. But like I stated earlier in the video, there's nothing wrong with a little thing, but a lot of little things can turn into one thing, you know. So all that got situated. Fast forward to today. I have still not went on a load. It is 11 a.m. I'm waiting for them to send me somewhere. Yeah. I feel like another problem is we didn't receive like that adequate training. They came, they wanted to see if you can drive. I can drive, bam. Then they sat us in a classroom at orientation and we watched a bunch of videos that had nothing to do with nothing. Like, I want to watch videos on how Martin operates, you know? And I'm talking about from the very basic. Like, I tried to get fuel. They gave me a card, and they said, this is the fuel card. But no one told me how to work the fuel card, you know? Like, how do you work the fuel card? How do you navigate through this Qualcomm that you guys program? Like, I had a Qualcomm at my first company. I know how to navigate through it. But looking at this one, I guess everybody's different. Like, there's restrictions on it, and it's just certain ways to move around it that wasn't explained. But we're in orientation watching videos on hour-long video and quizzes on hazmat loads, and I don't even have a hazmat endorsement. You know, like, what's going on at the terminal? Like, how do you do this, and that? I don't know, bro. It's just a bunch of little stuff, and back to little things turn to big things. I found out that with orientation, or just in general, so we get paid for orientation, but you will not receive $1 until you do your first load, and it has to be before Tuesday. So I got hired last week, And obviously I didn't do a load last week, so I didn't even receive my orientation pay that Friday. Here we are this week. Today's Tuesday. It's 11 a.m. I don't have a load. So unless I go next door to deliver an empty, I guess, I won't be getting paid this Friday. You know, so 2 weeks in and I still haven't even received my orientation pay. I still haven't received my reimbursement fuel for driving there. You know, but hey, we not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it into an issue until it really becomes an issue. You know, the truck, everything I figured out, situated, fixed. Now we're just waiting on the load. You know, y'all know me, man. I'm gonna hit y'all with an update once I figure everything out. You know, like I said, I haven't done a load yet. So we're going to see how being out there works. This isn't local. I'm doing regional. So, you know, it's just a lot of things that I'm not okay with, but I feel like with me wanting to join a mega carrier instead of a smaller company, it's some things that you have to be willing to accept. You know, so even though working locally would have kept everything that I had in check, you know, wasn't nothing there. So sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So here I am going regional, trying to figure out my program again, get everything back the way I wanted it to be, or everything back the way it was, you know. And yeah, man, stay tuned. I'll hit y'all with an update. I'll hit y'all with the first pay stub. Regional, this is 63 cents a mile. It's a guarantee account. 14.75 guaranteed a week. But that comes with a lot of restrictions. You can't never be late to a load. When they call your ass back from home time, you better be in that truck at that time. You know, like I said, we gonna see, man. That's all we can do is see. If you want more of these videos, subscribe to my channel. You know, you got any input that's helpful, that can help me, you know, I reply to everybody. Leave me a comment, thumbs up it so the next person can see the video, you know. But yeah, I'll holler at y'all.